Hey everyone, this is David. Welcome back behind the velvet rope as I move the mic closer, and we are just running a
Yeah.
minute late, but we are here with Sarah Frasia.
Hi, David Yontip. Oh my God, I'm obsessively stalking Shane Koff. Gina Koff's
Shane
son.
Keo.
Oh, is that how you say it?
It's
Keo?
okay. You could say
Is it
cough.
Gina? I
Here,
always thought it was Gina
you want
Koff.
you
They
want
say
some good
Keo?
news? Do you want some good news? Kim
Yes.
D on the Patreon on Saturdays mispronounces things just as much as you do. So she calls Jen Shah Jen Shaw. So I'm just like, I'm not being an asshole. I'm just, everyone's gonna now, "Oh, Sarah
No,
mispronounces, Kim mispronounces. I mean, guys, people are
please
dying
correct me.
there's gay clubs being shot up. I mean, can we just like save the drama for real life stuff, guys?
I know it's
Um,
true, but thank you
all
for
right,
correcting
so
me.
Shane Keo, I saw that. Is he married? Is that what just happened? Or is it
Yes, he got
he's
married.
married? Okay.
I
He's
used to think
married.
he was so hot. Now I'm sort of meh, nah.
Sarah, let me tell you something.
What?
So
What?
many of them, so many people age great and some don't. You know who age? I think, you know, it gets the award for, I think, aging the best. Well,
Who?
two people in the Housewives world. One, Countess Luann de Lesseps, who's just as gorgeous as ever.
Okay,
And
go on.
and two, she wasn't really so put together in her heyday. Miss Ramona Singer. I mean, this bitch is like, she looks better at like 63 than she did when she first started the show.
Did you see over the weekend? I think she's in Florida or something in a leopard dress. And everybody is like, look, we know that Ramona uses a ton of filters, but she's headed to 70 and she's never fucking looked better. I mean, she looked stunning. I mean,
Stunning.
I agree with both those. Luann, and like what I love about Luann is Luann has aged well being like a hard drinker. You know what I mean? Like that is not easy to do. And Luann
So
is like,
good.
she has aged gracefully, even with like a fifth of vodka. I think she's like semi sober now. Anyway, yeah, those
I
two
think Luann
look.
is drinking her Fose and is 100% sober.
Oh, well, good. Okay. Um, yeah, Shane
So
Keo,
Shane,
congrats.
he got married. Any highlights?
Well, he looks great. Obviously Gina was there. Gina's two other children. It's so funny. They were like my fan
Sarah.
favorites when Gina was on the OC, and they were complete spoiled brats
I
on the
feel
show.
like they were kind of the like before Brianna and Michael, like I feel like they were kind of the first breakout kids, actually, right? Like we loved to
Yeah.
lust over Shane back in the day.
Oh my God, Shane was so hot. I mean, he's still a very nice looking guy. And I do think that
I'm
Gina's
looking.
kids and Vicky Gunvalson's kids, they were sort of and even the Osborne kids, they were like on TV before you really knew what being, you know what I mean? Like they were unfiltered. They
Natural.
acted. Were you a brat in high school, by the way? Because I was kind of bratty. I was
I
bratty. Like I would
mean,
talk back to my parents a
I
little
guess
bit.
you'd have to define brat. I mean, no, I think I'm a brat now.
Oh, really? So you were
Yeah.
like really good, well-behaved kid for your parents when you were
I
in high
got,
school.
yeah, I got straight A's and I studied. And yeah, no, I didn't really become one of the cool kids until later in life when I rebelled against everything and everyone. Now I tell people to fuck off all the time, which I think is because I went to law school. Yeah, I'm going to mention I'm a lawyer again. So whoever doesn't like that, I mean, there was one person I told him to go fuck himself. No, I was really good in high school. I am just a nasty brat now.
Okay, well, I would have acted probably like Gina Keogh's kids did if I had been on camera in high school. I was kind of bratty and talked back to my parents, and yeah. So, but I mean, when those kids were on, they were complete shitheads. Aside from maybe her daughter, and nobody really liked them. And then Matt, remember the husband who passed away? I don't know. We're going down memory lane here of OC, but I always loved Gina. I loved Matt. Like, there's something about an MLB player to me. Obviously, Matt Keogh sadly passed away, legendary MLB player, and then their kids. Anyway, I have always loved Gina. And why have they not brought Gina back? Does Gina not want to come back? What's up with that?
I mean, listen, she did my podcast. I think was it last year? And we should talk about this. I wonder if I should do this again. They're really two popular shows. You know, you and I were just saying, what should we do over Christmas? We might Should we do I've always put it on Patreon, but now that we moved Kim D to Patreon, should you and I do, they're very popular shows, Sarah. I do a countdown just of Bravo people, because that's where everyone's focus is, of
Sure.
the 10 best and the 10 worst behind the scenes interviews of the year. So like you see me interview. So like if you want to know what happens off, look at you, you're
I'll
like
do it with you.
excited. So let's talk. Maybe that week between Chris, that's what, so our shows are usually Thursday, Friday. The Thursday, we always start with the best, literally the number one. Last year's number one interview was Carol Razawell for me.
Oh my God. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to do that on my own podcast too. I'm not going to do 10. I'm going to do 5. I don't have the attention span, but I'm going to do the 5 best and the 5 worst. Yes. Even on the Sarah Fraser show. Okay. Tune in. I mean, tune into both.
So you take all your TLC 1,000-pounders and the brothers who fuck the sisters, and you do that. And here behind the velvet rope, which will be on your feed also, we're going to do the top 10 to 1, and then we'll do the worst 10. Like, I forgot who my worst was last year.
Who was it?
I think it was like maybe Luke Gulberson was up there. He shoveled snow during it. Listen, guys, you misbehave behind the scenes on the behind the velvet. So it's not just what happens on air. It's like the after effect. So, and it's also what you gave us. So Carol Razwell was like number 1. I don't know who was the worst. Always been on Patreon. Kim D is now occupying Patreon. So you and I will put it out here for all the people to listen to. And yeah, I'm sorry, I'm calling you out. If you behave badly off camera, you get it. Like, I think the year before, I don't know, I think Jill Zarin was on it, but now Jill and I are good. Love Jill Zarin. Let me make that very clear. We're over
Can
that.
you even remember who you interviewed this past year? God, I'm trying to think right now.
No, darling. But I sit here, Sarah, we are very professional here. I sit here and I go through every show that it started, and it's not who you interviewed, it's who you aired. So like if I interviewed 13 people today, they're not going to air till next year. It's only what's aired from January 1 to whatever time we record this. We're going to do this. You like this idea.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I love it. I'm trying to even remember who I interviewed. Candy, you and I interviewed Candy Gal this year, so I'll be curious to see where she ranked.
See, and like people love the good, but then when it's the second day, when you do the top 10 worst people, that's of course with this sloppy audience here. And I say that with the best of love. They love when you're like, guess what? This is when like you text David and you drive David crazy and you're in high maintenance, then it's all coming out, guys, on the end of the year show. So behave behind the scenes. And it's so bad because I have a major bridge I burned with a major publicist over a Bravo celebrity, which it's not going to air till next. I couldn't help it. I think I told you about this. The person wanted like 17 edits, and it's just the bridge is burned and we're not editing, and you guys are going to eat this shit up when it comes out.
Oh
anyway,
can't wait.
All right, so we're doing that. So everyone get ready. We're doing it, Sarah. We're going to count down, and you will criticize and you could ask questions. 10 best and 10 worst. We'll figure out when we're going to record that and when it's going to air, but it's going to air the last week of the year probably.